Caitlin Clark was surprised by Stephanie White's impressive expertise during the Indiana Fever's game against the Connecticut Sun this season. She is excited to see how White's advanced scouting system will help the Fever. On Monday, Indiana officially announced White as their new head coach following the departure of Christy Sides in October. White, aged 47, was a standout in high school in Indiana and played for the Fever from 2000 to 2004. She then worked as an assistant coach under Lynn Dunn, contributing to the franchise's WNBA championship win in 2012 before becoming head coach from 2015 to 2016. White had a successful stint as head coach of the Connecticut Sun, winning the WNBA Coach of the Year award in 2023 and leading the team to victory over the Fever in the 2024 WNBA playoffs. White is set to team up with Clark, the 2024 Rookie of the Year who is highly regarded as one of the top talents in the league, in preparation for the 2025 season. Clark, who plays as a point guard, was joined by Aaliyah Boston and Lexie Hull as they took a photo with their new head coach during Monday's event. The talented 22-year-old prodigy showed full support for White by mentioning White's thorough preparation of Connecticut for their games against Indiana earlier this year. Clark eagerly talked about her excitement to play under the new head coach, expecting her to use the same strategies that helped identify the weaknesses of the Fever to help the team. Clark mentioned that the woman is highly regarded in Indiana. He expressed his admiration for her, saying that he found it impressive. He also felt that her teams always had the most competent scouts working against them when they played against her. Clark believes this demonstrates her deep comprehension of the game and her analytical abilities, showing that she possesses valuable insights. He hopes that now that she knows how to thwart their success, she can help them overcome certain challenges. White was excited to work with the two Rookies of the Year, Clark and Boston, as she believed they were the perfect players to build a team around. Stephanie White, a respected figure in Indiana basketball, showed her status during her first press conference as head coach of the Indiana Fever. She thanked the journalists present who had covered her previous roles as a player, assistant coach, and head coach, acknowledging the great respect they had shown her. Even after 20 years since retiring as a player, White still feels a strong emotional connection to the game, which is why the Fever wanted her on board. White's dedication to her work is evident through her statement, "I hold myself to high standards and always strive for perfection." However, she did not mention these feelings on Monday. Instead, she expressed them in 2000 when she was a 23-year-old newly drafted player on her home state team in the WNBA. Coming back to Indiana as a highly anticipated player after being the 8th pick in the draft, there were high hopes for the former 1995 Indiana Miss Basketball and 1999 NCAA champion from Purdue. Kelly Krauskopf, who was the Fever's first general manager and now serves as the president of basketball and business operations, talked about this time during the press conference. "My initial player move was bringing her to Indiana when we were a new team, and the player I exchanged for her was Sandy Brondello, who is currently the head coach of the team that won this year's championship." After completing her college education, White was praised for her exceptional skills as a basketball strategist, excelling as a determined point guard at a height of 5 feet 9 inches. Comparisons were drawn between her performance and that of Larry Bird, as former Purdue head coach Carolyn Peck lauded White upon her retirement in 2005 at only 27 years old. While her WNBA career did not reach the same heights as her high school days where she set scoring records or her college years with impressive three-point scoring streaks, she remained adored by the people of Indiana, both for the memories she created and her connection to them. "I have come to a point in my career where simply making decisions for one reason or another is not enough anymore. The focus must be on professional opportunities as well as personal opportunities, such as my desire to be closer to my family. Some of my family members are here today, including my nephew, whom I have only had the chance to see a few times. It would be delightful to see his sweet little face more often. Being around my family, especially for the sake of my children, has become a priority for me. The years spent with children as parents are invaluable and cannot be gotten back. This time is irreplaceable. My family has dedicated ample time to my children, and now it is essential for me to be nearer to home and have them around more frequently. I'm sorry, but it seems like you have not provided any text to be paraphrased. Please provide the text that you would like me to work on." White is back with the Fever to take on a new team that has been rapidly improving since the addition of Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. The coach compared these two players to the legendary duo of John Stockton and Karl Malone, although she joked that her young players may not fully understand the reference. Stockton and Malone are known as one of the best playmaker big-man combos in NBA history, leading the Utah Jazz to great success for nearly 2 decades. While setting high expectations for Clark and Boston may seem ambitious, White believes in their skills and abilities. I believe that both of them are highly competitive individuals, possessing a natural drive and mindset that is crucial for success in sports and as good teammates. Watching their progress as athletes and leaders, and their ability to handle pressure and elevate the performance of others, is truly motivating. Their strong bond will ensure that they are remembered as some of the best. I am looking forward to collaborating with them. I am eager to further develop these qualities and establish a lasting legacy for both individuals in Indiana. Once again, White is coming back to Indiana with great expectations. The support from the team, community, and state is stronger than ever, shining a bright spotlight on her. Sorry, but it looks like there is no text provided for paraphrasing. Please provide the text that you would like me to paraphrase. I'm sorry, but there is no text provided for paraphrasing. Please provide the text that you would like me to paraphrase. Everyone holds on to the memories of a long-awaited trip, even celebrities. Yet, for Caitlin Clark, there is one particular memory from her 2023 European trip that she probably wishes to erase from her mind, despite the playful banter from her pals. In 2023, Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes received a lot of attention during their tour of Croatia and Italy. They won all 3 friendly matches against Team Slammers, KK Trznjevka 2009, and the Croatian All-Stars. Fortunately, the team also got to enjoy some sightseeing while in Europe. However, in a recent discussion with Clark, Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, and Jada Giamfi, it was discovered that not everyone had positive memories of their time at a specific restaurant. At the restaurant, the Indiana Fever star faced one of her biggest fears. Stephanie White praised Caitlin Clark as a generational player as she returned as the head coach of the Indiana Fever. Both White and Clark have a special connection, as they both wore the number 22 for the franchise, White in the 2000s and now Clark in her rookie season. Clark is excited about White's return, and they seem poised for a promising partnership. Clark has highlighted a key aspect from White's coaching style that she feels will greatly benefit the Fever. Stephanie White held her first press conference recently, where she met with several Fever players, including Caitlin Clark. After the conference, Clark expressed her confidence in White's leadership and the valuable experience White brings in preparing teams to face challenges. We acknowledge her iconic status in Indiana. I find that very impressive. When competing against her, I noticed that her teams consistently had the most effective scouts going up against us. This demonstrates her deep understanding of the game and her analytical abilities, showing that she possessed valuable insights. Now that she knows how to stop us, hopefully, that will also present a great opportunity to learn how to help us overcome certain challenges, Clark remarked. The negative aspect of the Fever. Number 22 believes that Stephanie White's coaching experience with a team that has faced and beaten the Fever makes her a perfect mentor for player development. Before coming to Indiana, White was part of the Connecticut Sun, the same team that eliminated Clark's team in the first round of the playoffs. The Sun also performed better during the regular season, finishing with a record of 3-1. Moreover, the recently appointed head coach has a close relationship with the Fever, as he was a player for the team from 2000 to 2005 and later served as head coach from 2015 to 2016. Clark is hopeful about the upcoming positive changes, and White is equally excited about the journey that lies ahead for the Fever. When Christie Sides left, Kelly Krauskopf, the president of basketball operations, emphasized the goal of maximizing talent and winning another WNBA championship for Indiana. Stephanie White seems ready to work towards this goal, mentioning at her first press conference that they should focus on the league's progress and future aspirations while embracing the opportunity to help the team and franchise succeed. White stressed the significance of using Clark and Aaliyah Boston together, highlighting their success as one of the top pick-and-roll duos in the WNBA during the previous season. She noted their progress both on and off the court, highlighting their leadership qualities, ability to uplift teammates, and mutual support as they handle various challenges. These accomplishments are a result of their hard work and dedication in their respective roles, she commented. The Indiana Fever are reconstructing their team with the goal of winning a championship. They have acquired Caitlin Clark as their star player and have installed a new head coach as well as made changes to their front office. Indiana recognizes that they have the most talented young players in the league and want to make the most of their potential. The key figures from their previous successful season are back to reach even greater levels of success. Stephanie White is back as the head coach, leading the Fever to the WNBA Finals in 2015. She is excited about the potential partnership between Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Although number 22 is already one of the top players globally, more talent is needed for a strong title contention. During her first press conference, White acknowledged the top 3 players on the team, but Kelsey Mitchell is currently a free agent. There was some confusion about whether Lexie Hull was part of this trio, but Scott Agness clarified the situation. Agness quickly confirmed that Mitchell will be part of the Big Three along with Boston and Clark. Mitchell is an unrestricted free agent, but the Fever can designate her as a core player. This means they would offer her the highest salary for the 2025 season. Indiana should prioritize retaining the two-time All-Star without any delay. Playing with Clark helped Mitchell improve greatly. She became one of the top scorers and key players in the WNBA. Opponents struggled to find ways to stop the Fever's best players. Defending against them will be harder now that Stephanie White is in charge. Indiana is not satisfied with just putting their Big Three back together. They are looking to improve their team and go after a championship in 2025. They have enough money to bring in another top player and keep Mitchell on the team. Fans have been hearing rumors about Sato Sabally, but Indiana is focused on bringing in a new star player to make a big impact soon. White has made it to the semifinals of the WNBA 3 times in her last 4 seasons as head coach. She has a history of winning and has previously achieved success with Kelly Krauskopf in Indiana. It is anticipated that the pair will strengthen their roster and have an advantage playing alongside Caitlin Clark in 2025. The Indiana Fever is a team to keep an eye on during the offseason. Who might be brought in to support Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell? Stay tuned for updates. The Fever is determined to make a significant impact, so it wouldn't be surprising if they make a big splash. Indiana Fever's up-and-coming player, Caitlin Clark, has shown that she is not only a talented basketball player but also a dedicated fan of Taylor Swift. The Indiana Fever's new head coach, Stephanie White, compared Clark to Taylor Swift, calling her the Taylor Swift of women's basketball because she garners a lot of attention like the pop superstar. Clark missed a Swift concert during her WNBA season, but it's likely that Swift's music was always on her pregame playlist. After finishing her first season, Clark is excited to attend multiple shows on Swift's final U.S. tour dates to enjoy her music live. She will be stopping at the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the Eras Tour. On the opening night, she made fans happy by swapping friendship bracelets with attendees at the concert, adding a personal touch to the event. On the second night, Clark is determined to concentrate on the performance and wants to steer clear of any interruptions. The Fever's social media team has just shared a compilation of Clark's impressive rookie moments on their Instagram page. Clark made a playful comment, joking about being busy at the Eras Tour and thanking for the tag. Clark's increasing fame does not prevent her from fully enjoying the concert experience. This weekend might be the final chance for Clark to see Swift perform live for a while, since she will be busy with her second WNBA season soon. Clark, who is dedicated to basketball and loves Swift's music, sees the concert as a special chance to unwind before getting back to the court. Although Clark may be tempted to dwell on her past accomplishments, she is currently concentrating on the present moment. The Indiana Fever has generated a considerable amount of buzz with the hiring of Stephanie White, the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, as their new head coach. The decision to part ways with Christy Sides, who led the team to their first playoff appearance in 8 years, indicates the organization's desire for excellence, especially with star player Caitlin Clark looking to improve on her successful rookie season. White is seen as the coach who can guide the team to victory, and she has embraced the pressure that comes with the role. She has set high expectations for Clark and the team, stating that nothing less than a championship will suffice. White acknowledges that the team still needs significant improvements before they can contend for a title, but she has faith in Clark, whom she considers a once-in-a-generation talent. Furthermore, White believes that with players like Clark and Aaliyah Boston, the Fever can consistently compete for championships. Despite a lackluster performance in the WNBA All-Star Game, where she had only 4 points and struggled with her shooting, Clark remains a key player for the Fever. Team USA's defensive focus on Clark during the game allowed Arika Goombawale to shine and set a new scoring record. A viral video from the game shows Clark conversing with Kelsey Plum, suggesting that Plum's aggressive defense was a topic of discussion. The clip has garnered significant attention online, with many fans speculating about what was said between the players. It is evident that both Plum and Team USA held Clark in high regard to employ such defensive tactics during an exhibition game. There is no evidence to suggest that Sides had a strained relationship with Clark or any other players on the Fever. Her dismissal seems to be based on the team's desire for a coach who can lead them to a championship. Tensions between the players and Sides were not uncommon, as seen in an incident where Clark expressed dissatisfaction with loud music during practice. This interaction, as described by Hull, highlights the dynamic between coaches and players, where disagreements are inevitable but can lead to growth and understanding. Everyone gazed around with confusion as Christy inquired, "What was that you said?" Clark proceeded to repeat Caitlin's comment. "We couldn't control our laughter because if it had been me or someone else from our team, no one would have repeated it after being asked to do so. However, Caitlin did." Hull described it as the most amusing moment and mentioned how the players were all bursting into fits of laughter on the ground. Indiana is currently looking for a new head coach, so the past issues are no longer relevant.